Hey, what's going on, guys? It's the guy Professor O coming through with a dose of that good yolk. I'm everywhere like broken glass and around like a circle. Anyway, anyhow, let's get down to this round now. Today I want to talk about almost had it. Don't beat me up. You know, I'll be starting the whole bunch, value. What do I mean by that? Value is literally the worth of something, someone, something. Said something already, right? Something, someone, some essence, whatever the case may be. Of it being precious, of it being something of worth, right? Whether it be an entity, whether it be an animal or inanimate object, something of worth, something that is precious. And how do you accrue in value? How do you make yourself more valuable, right? Because that's literally what it's all about. Like, you know what I mean? If you're living or you're dying, are you going to gain or are you going to lose? What are you consistently doing and constantly working on to make yourself more valuable than you were yesterday? For today, leading into the future, which will be tomorrow. Anyway, anyhow, let's get down to this round now. You know, I got the handy dandy notebook in the spot. Don't make it hot. Who writes the script? Clearly, a boy still does. Don't hate me because you ate me. Maybe you need to appreciate, never devastate. If you deviate in, then you're starting to hate. And you can't really do that. So meditate or levitate. Can you dig what I'm saying? I think you can. Anyway, anyhow, let's get down to this round now. Increasing your value is more than an aesthetic. It's got to be in you, not on you. Like literally. When you are increasing your value, that means you're consistently working on yourself. You're practicing and you're developing these traits that you already have. We talked about patience, joy, long suffering, steadfastness, etc., so forth, of the like. When you're consistently working on yourself and you're constantly becoming a better person day by day, putting one foot in front of the other, making sure you're really getting involved in yourself, that's when the value starts to accumulate. That's when you start gaining momentum towards being something of worth. Because stagnicity doesn't exist. Motion exists at all times. Now, how fast you're going, how slow you're going can determine up to you. Now, listen here and listen clear. There are those that are just talented. Some are a little bit more faster than others, and they came here this way. It is what it is. Some are slower than others, and they came here this way. It is what it is. But that doesn't necessarily decrease or increase in value. I've seen a lot of fast dumbasses, and I've seen a lot of slow smarties. Literally. Why? Because some people like to just take their time, being very patient, understanding that things are not built in a day. And I also realized that I've seen some people that go really, really fast, but they have no direction. They're able to go 1,000 miles per hour, but they didn't go anywhere at all because they were so scattered. But I also met so slow stupids, meaning that they're so slow and they're dumb and they're not going anywhere because they don't seek to go anywhere. But they think they're going somewhere because they're not directing their energy. They're just slow and scattered. But I've also seen some people who are fast and smart that are like they're going and going. They're not stopping. Like they're sped fast, like Sonic, a smart Sonic. Not saying Sonic is dumb, but I'm saying like a genius version of Sonic, right? I digress. You get what I'm saying. Anyway, anyhow, you know I'm long-winded, so let's get down to it. This means, what did I write here? All right. This means doing the inner work, being consistent and improving. Literally doing the inner work. Going inside, I just said this earlier, but I want to kind of extol on this. Going inside, literally looking at yourself and understanding, like, you know what? This is something that I want to become. I want to become something better. I want to be better, but what am I going to do? All right, I want to work on my health. So I start eating more correct. I start eating more precise. I start eating more, you know, what's any other term? More health consciously, right? I want to lose, but I want to gain. I want to lose the excess and gain the increase. Got to start working out. Or I got to be more patient. I start developing more patient traits, more understanding, being more empathic towards the situation and towards the people that I'm dealing with, so I can understand where they're coming from, so I can better assess the situation properly, evenly, and equally, so we could be able to get to a better middle ground, etc., so forth. I digress. But these are traits that are very simple when spoken, but very, very difficult when practiced. And that's what makes the simple so difficult, because it's simple when we speak about it because we understand it. But when it's in, that's like a theoretical conversation though, because when we're in theory conversing about it, everyone can say they're patient, everyone can say they're kind, anyone can say they're genuine, they're charitable, whatever the case may be. That's in theory, because in conversation it's all theoretical until it's actually proven. Until in practice, are you actually that charitable? Are you actually that patient? Are you actually that genuine? Are you actually that kind? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you say, it's what you do. Now, does your words back by your actions? Because I met a plethora of individuals. They can talk to the moon rise and to the sunset. But when it's down and it's time to actually get to it, and it's really time to prove and show what you've been speaking about, that's where it's gonna come. That's all that matters, is showing up at that point in time. And that's a very important thing of being consistent. Another trait that's easily conversed about, but very hard to practice. Being consistent every day, showing up every single day. I have a question, not even a question, it's a statement I always live by. Like, as me looking at myself as being a CEO, boss, whatever the case may be, and being very humble in my perspective, I always look at myself, all right, if I had to hire, I can hire the super elite worker, but he calls off 2 times a month. Every month he's calling off, you know what I mean? Why? Because he probably had a hangover, party too hard, or whatever the case may be. He's always calling out. Or I can deal with the mediocre worker that shows up every single trip and every single time, never late, always showing up, always putting in the work, doing the best that he can. Which one would be the more prominent worker that you would hire? You would hire the one that shows up every trip. Why? Because at the end of the day, yeah, the super elite status, like, they're cool, great, and gravy, but when it's time to show and prove, they're not proving and doing anything. Now, can the mediocre become the super elite? 1000%, because there's room to grow and he's showing up to provide. Now, then you got that super rare, that's the boss to be, as I call them. When you see that boss to be working, when they are the super elite and they're showing up on time, they're very punctuous, they're very elite at what they're doing. They're smart, they're not in the correct element where they need to be. You know what I'm saying? You can always see a star. I mean, you're talking and looking at one right now, but you can always see a star in the mist when you understand, like, you know what, this is, yeah, he's going far. He doesn't belong in this situation. He doesn't belong to be there, because you could tell, you can see the essence, you can see the aura. Some people are just special like that. You know, there are life forms that walk that are just very special. Anyway, I digress. You know, I'm just very, you know, I'm long-winded. I can get off topic. Let's get back to it. This is why I got the handy-dandy notebook in the spot. Do not make it hot. Traits such as patience, tenacity, consistency, optimism, organization, definitely a big one, accountability, and responsibility are traits that will accrue in value, and they accrue the individual that carries them. Simple and plain. I'm going to repeat that once more just so you can get those traits down again. Such as patience, tenacity, consistency, optimism, organization, accountability, and responsibility. Now, I say optimism, right? Because a lot of people overlook that term of being optimistic. And you'll meet a lot of bosses. They be like, oh, it's not about being optimistic, about being realistic. And I understand that. 1000% logic always got to dictate the situation when you're dealing with math and numbers, point blank, period. But you always got to have an optimistic perspective about that. Why? Because shit happens. You can't stop that from happening. But what you can do is have a perspective towards it to understand that this shit is going to happen and was going to be overcome. If you're always going to say shit's going to happen, and then when shit happens, you know, you got to be level-headed at all times. You got to be well-rounded. Everybody wants to be provided for, taken seriously until it's time to become valuable. That's another sense. And I meet a lot of chicks, like, for instance, chicks always be like, oh, I'm looking for a man to provide for me, this, that, and the third. They want to be provided for, but they don't want to become valuable to be provided for. They don't want to assess and add traits. And then you see guys that way out here, I want to be taken, you know, I'm out here, I need to be taken seriously. You don't know who you talking to, boys doing this, that, and the third, etc., so forth, but do nothing but smoke weed and bullshit all day. Like, what are you doing? What do you want for yourself? How can somebody take you seriously if you don't take yourself seriously? And be provided for if there's nothing to provide for? Where's the value in your actions? Remember, people can judge you all types of ways, whatever the case may be, but you show who you are the minute you open your mouth. And you show me your worth by the actions that you partake in. Point blank proven. And again, yeah, and that's it. Again, this message is for the adept out there, for the master, the expert, the pro-fish and E-fish and the selfish and the one that's always doing it and never losing it, that's growing, that's glowing, that's going at all times. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. And remember, speak good, do good, see good. When it is good, it's all good. Can you dig it? If there are haters out there that love looking at your boy, make sure you look on my good side because you know that I'm sexy. Can you dig what I'm saying? I think you can. Peace, love, and light. I'll see you guys at the next video.